to a situation. We didn't create the problem. We're there as a response, as a reaction to it.
Santa Clarita units in Canyon Country, code 3 response needed 902R Reservoir Avenue, across the Sierra Highway. L24 unresponsive, possibly not reading tag 257. Unit trace 101.
Full arrest 81, squad 107.
It's never easy. It's never an outcome we hope for. No one, as far as I know, is ever there to judge, but we definitely feel sad that it's come to that point. But we have a job to do, and we know that we need to intervene. We want to have the best outcome possible, but when you do lose someone, a little bit of that stays with you. I think the first thing we want to do is we want to press upon them how close they came. If it wasn't for their friend, their family, whoever it was that came upon them and they didn't activate 911, they'd cease to be. There'd be no tomorrow. There'd be no next high.
With one puff in the nostril of the patient, and it can be administered to any suspected opioid overdose, even on children who are as young as a year old.
Even patients that have been Narcan before, because we ask them, have you ever been Narcan before? And some of them, yeah, it's happened before. So they've already had that experience, they've already had that talk, they've already come, close to death, and they're still, living the lifestyle. There's going to be a respiratory issue because opiates, heroin are a respiratory depressant. So normally when we get the call, it's going to be at the point where, yeah, they've called 911 for a reason, something has happened. I know the hospitals have great resources as far as trying to get them hooked up with the program, but ultimately it's up to them to follow through and to make those changes, and it can't be easy.
Once you don't get sleep for a couple of days, once you don't eat for a couple of days, it turns very sour quickly. I know what I experience, but the thing is it might not be reality, but it's reality to me.
It's your perceptions, your reality.
Right, it's my reality.
First time I seen him, he was in the ER on a gurney with what you call meth-induced psychosis. He didn't even know who he was or what was going on. He was on meth for 2 days. He didn't sleep or eat. What happens when you don't sleep and you don't eat and you put that kind of drug in your system is you get paranoid. You get anxiety. You get psychotic, where you kind of hallucinate and you kind of see things. So you can watch TV and think people are coming after you, or the telephone's a gun. So he got completely paranoid, was running out of the house to escape he doesn't even know what.
I thought that I had been drugged, because let's just put it this way. I was on a run for about 6-7 days.
So you were drugged by yourself?
Yes, but the thing is I didn't feel like at any point I was teetering on that edge of complete and utter psychosis.
How did you end up in a gurney with the cops and all that crazy?
Well, I thought there's people outside, and I thought that my dad was trying to hurt me, And honestly, I was just trying to escape the situation. I tried to leave the house, and I was just gonna go somewhere isolated and just chill out.
You see how crazy all this is now?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, do you see what these drugs do to your brain? You know what's scary is, you know how many people I've seen that have meth-induced psychosis that are never coming back?
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
I mean, never coming back. They're going to be meth-induced psychotic forever. And it's the saddest thing in the world when you see somebody and they're completely paranoid and they think people are planting things in their bodies and their ears and people are listening and God's chasing them down the street. I mean, I can go on for days.
We have not yet seen this level of devastation in Los Angeles County, but it's clear when you look at the public health tracking of overdose deaths across the nation, this opioid epidemic is headed our way.
Let me welcome you to my life. I invite you to becoming something you'll never imagine to be. Others may judge you as a tragedy to your own person. However, we will not listen to any surrounding us besides one another. Just visualize being identical to everything I am. Every waking moment will consist of hard work so we can have anything we need or want, which will define us as heroin, cocaine, crack, alcohol, and anything else we work hard to get our hands on. We will be the definition of destruction. Our haters will falsify us as addicts. Responsibility, faith, and trust is not our scope of practice. We relate more to being careless, arrogant, deceitful, and vindictive. We interfere with the happiness of others, which includes our closest family members, friends, and loved ones.
Let me tell you a little secret. That misery's never going to leave. It's always going to be there. You can always go get it.
Yeah.
Anytime you choose to, you can go get it. It's there.
Right.
But boy, leaving it behind,
Yeah.
is the way to go.
I had a big hot shot, and I ended up.
What's a hot shot?
It's a mix of meth and heroin, but mostly heroin. And I knew the person who made the heroin that put a lot of fentanyl in it. So I told them we want more fentanyl in it than we do heroin. And they didn't know what I was up to. They just knew, hey, I want this money. And
They had a clue, but go on.
yeah. And so they overmixed it on purpose because they were the ones who made it. And so I knew right away that this one shot was going to take me out. I already knew. It was so obvious. And I was shocked that a lot of people around me didn't know, because there's been multiple times I've tried to kill myself and been
Didn't know
found.
what? That you were planning on taking yourself out.
Yeah. It's so different. It's so different. I'm not stuck in this rut anymore where I think that there's nothing left to live for. There's so much. It just makes you realize how thankful to be for those little tiny things.
You're finally living.
Yeah.
You're finally alive.
Yeah.
That's what it is. If you look at where she came from and the phone call that she made and everybody knowing that if this girl if something doesn't happen right now, she'd be dead. And to watch the despair and sadness in that girl, to see where she is now. And let me tell you, she didn't have an easy road here. I mean, rehab's not Disneyland. There's all kinds of emotions and feelings and stuff that she has to deal with. I'll never forget when we pulled up to Target and she came running over and jumped into my arms, and you could just feel it was it. It was either do or die, live or die. And I kind of knew that. And to watch her in the last 95 days here it's almost like a miracle, which is kind of scary because she's been through so much. I mean, the emotions that she has to deal with, not only coming off of drugs and having to deal with all the sadness, but the wreckage of her past.
He's jittery and he's going through shakes, and even morphine's just keeping him comfortable.
There's always in the back of my head that I could be stopping a guy that's wanted for murder and he's laying in wait with a gun for me. Hey, is this your car?
James was dragged out of rehab by the sheriff's department.
This has been a very humbling experience.
He hit the streets, he went back to his friends, he started drinking a little bit, and before you know it, there's a needle in his pocket, there's a law behind him, the red lights and handcuffs.